Yo, what's up, all you burner stones and potheads? This is Weedman 420 with the Weedman 420 Chronicles. How are all you vipers doing out there? Mrs Weedman.
Mr. Weedman.
How the hell are you?
Freezing.
In the frozen tundra out here in Illinois right now. Hey, all you vipers out there in the world, hopefully you're smoking some big fat doinks while you're listening to the show, and we're about to get normal. We're smoking Strawberry Shortcake, which we've smoked on the show once before, and this is grown by our friend Big Earl. This Strawberry Shortcake is a sativa dominant hybrid strain, which is 75% sativa, 25% indica, created with the cross of classic Juliet and strawberry diesel strains. Perfect for any lover of delicious berry flavor, Strawberry Shortcake packs a combination of sweet, fruity strawberries, spicy earth into each and every mouth-watering little toke. The aroma follows the same profile, although with a pungent diesel overtone that turns heavy and sour as the nugs are broken apart and burned. The Strawberry Shortcake high is just as delicious as the flavor, with uplifting sociable effects, and are perfect for getting you involved and carrying on conversations without anyone and everyone around you with ease. You'll feel happy with a touch of creativity, motivation, alongside with an increase in focus, all of which are perfect for carrying constructive conversations or playful arguments with friends and family alike. With these effects, the high is between 18 and 23% average. THC level, Strawberry Shortcake is said to be the perfect for treating conditions such as chronic stress, ADHD or ADHD, depression, mood swings, chronic fatigue. This bud has small, PC popcorn-shaped minty green nugs with thick orange hairs and a coating of frosty, tiny white crystal trichomes. The effects are creative, focused, sociable, uplifting, and then the relief of symptoms are ADHD, ADD, depression, fatigue, and stress. Flavors are berry, fruity, herbal, strawberry, and sweet. And the aromas are berry, diesel, fruity, spicy, strawberry, and sweet. And that is Strawberry Shortcake, grown by Big Earl there, all you burners, stoners, and potheads. Miss Weedman?
Mr. Weedman.
Very cold here in the Midwest right now. I think, what was it, minus 25 today?
No.
I think it was with the wind chill. I think it was
with
minus
the wind chill.
Yeah, with the wind chill. It was like minus 4, but with the wind chill, I think it was minus 25. Crazy.
It was cold.
Mm-hmm.
The sun was shining, though. It was a pretty day.
The only thing in this house that liked being outside today was old Yuki girl. I let her out today. A couple times, and she was just laying in the snow, sunbathing. Mm-hmm. And when she came in, she was actually hot.
Yeah,
like her fur was warm.
It's so
bizarre. Her paws and nose were ice cold.
I never knew about cold seeking, that there was a difference. I just thought all dogs like to snuggle up and be cozy and get under blankets.
Not this one.
Every dog I ever had until this one. So there is like a thing. Dogs are cold seeking or heat seeking, and this dog will live in a tundra.
She loves it.
She just doesn't care.
Did not want to come in. Yeah. I'm like, I only gave her like a certain amount of time to stay out there because it was cold and, her paws, and, but she did not want to come in at all. Like I set a timer for like 15 minutes and she was like, I was like, okay, dolphin. So old Yuki girl's sleeping on the couch over here in the studio. So got to make fun of her a little bit. We are watching a new show right now, new season. Very excited. The White Lotus. We've watched all the other seasons. They're all great. We watched episode 1 on Sunday and started off with a bang already. I love it. Mrs. Weedman watched some of it and fell asleep, so I had to fill her in on the details of the ending of it. But I'm excited to see this season. So if you haven't watched White Lotus yet, I suggest and highly recommend. It's on, I think, Max, HBO Max or some shit like that. So yeah, check out White Lotus. I'm not going to give you any premises on it, but it's a good show. Just before we started the show, Mrs. Weedman and I were talking. I'm like, did you see that video that was on TikTok or maybe social media somewhere? I saw it also on the news. There was a father and son doing a canoeing kayak trip off the coast of Chile. And I'm watching them. All of a sudden, it's like, I just see the caption, man gets swallowed up by a whale. I was like, Jonah? What the hell? Right? All of a sudden, within like 30 seconds, this humpback whale comes out of nowhere and goes, and next you know, the guy's gone.
He's just gone. He
Goodbye.
Just disappears.
Goodbye. You don't even see him. The whale goes underwater, and next you know, like...
And the dad's like, hello? Hello? Like, I don't think he really even realized what happened. It was so fast.
So all of a sudden, like 30 seconds later, the whale spits him out. Boop. Just pops him out. Yeah. All of a sudden, I was like, holy smokes. They interviewed him, but it was in Spanish, and I couldn't understand it. But it was just so crazy to watch somebody get swallowed up by a whale. You only heard it in biblical terms, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this humpback, humpbacks have huge mouths. Huge. I mean, just came right up, whoop, and just closed it, and he was gone. Now, I know they probably, the humpback whales have smaller throats, so probably wouldn't be able to swallow the the kayak and him together.
But he could have fallen off the kayak. I mean, why couldn't he have fallen out of the raft?
He could have. I think the kayak was like he had one of those ones that secured to him. Yeah, one of those ones that like has the covers that covers your body and stuff like that.
Good thing for that.
Yeah, right. But I imagine, what would you do?
It all happened so fast. Even the kid who it happened to probably had no idea what was happening.
What would you do if you get swallowed up by a whale? What would you do?
Well, you wouldn't know.
What would you do?
You wouldn't even know where you are. It would just be weird. It would be a strange noise and space, and it would go from you're out in the light to being in the dark, and you don't know what. Because that whale came up from under him and kind of behind him.
Oh yeah.
It was like surprise. I couldn't even imagine. I think it would take a long time to even figure. Like if they didn't have video of that,
right?
Could you imagine trying to figure out what happened
if
there wasn't a witness?
1 in a million shot that you're actually filming your son at that right time, and all of a sudden a humpback comes from underneath you and swallows you.
Crazy. I couldn't even imagine.
There's nothing you could do.
No.
There's nothing,
and he's not injured.
No, I mean that we know of.
Humpbacks don't have teeth.
They have baleen. They have the soft bristles.
String.
Yeah, and like when they scoop up, they come from the bottom. They come from the bottom.
Right, and then that bottom of their mouth kind of like
have
expands.
the huge expansion, and then when they swallow everything, the baleen holds all the fish in, but lets the water out.
Right.
I'm a nerd. I used to watch animal shows like crazy when I was probably still do. So, but yeah, I mean, you'd be stuck. Imagine if the well went deep and you couldn't get out. You're like Jonah.
Oh my gosh. Well, you might be fine because there wouldn't be like a mouthful of water. We don't walk around with a mouthful of water.
No, I'm sure.
So you'd just be this little person hanging out on the whale's tongue. But then what if the whale spit him out way underwater?
That's what I'm saying.
Like way deep.
Imagine it didn't open its mouth up when it had you in its mouth.
You would die. Because you couldn't like pressurize or get up to the top fast enough.
Yeah.
You'd be so disoriented. Oh my God, that sounds terrible. He's so lucky.
Oh my gosh!
Thankful for that.
If you haven't seen the video,
Search it.
I'm sure you can find it. I mean, it's crazy. Now I've seen like humpback whales and other whales come out of the water, and now they're crushing boats. I've seen that.
Yeah, they're getting a little aggressive.
I've seen orcas, killer whales, like trailing boats, and hitting them and knocking into them, and like, I mean, personally, what I believe is I think nature's trying to tell us something. Like, you are overpopulating now their oceans with more and more boats, more and more fishermen, more and more sea vessels, transportation. Before it was it's their ocean.
I totally agree. But then I see, like, I watch National Geographic or I watch some nature show, and you see how expansive the ocean is. There are so many millions of acres of ocean that we don't even touch.
Tell that to the ocean.
I'm not saying that we're not destroying it. Same with the forests. When you see the shows with the never-ending, like, countries of just trees,
right?
Compact, dense trees. Like, some of the density of all those forests need to be cleaned. I mean, they do burns and forest preserves. There's cleanup that has to happen so that the trees can grow.
Right.
So there is some amount of usage that is necessary for healthy balance, and that, right, for biodiversity and for like the food chain, there has to be some rate of attrition. There's areas here. There's a cemetery right by us that has an overpopulation of deer.
Right.
And they have to go in there and they allow hunting like one day a year in there for a specified number of people. And they have to take the number of deer down.
I get it.
So there has, like, populations can... So... I don't know. I'm really not saying that our world is not in a problem.
No, all I was getting at
was
was that
really
nature
stoned.
Sometimes gets pissed and they show like, hey, this is our.
Oh, I know my point is.
I'm glad I brought it back
those whales and stuff are whales that are in areas where there is intrusion into their lives.
Right.
But there are other whales too that don't ever intervene and see humans.
But the crazy thing about it is because what we've done to the oceans with plastic alone, every animal in the oceans
is affected.
And every beach. They have found plastic on some of the most desolated islands in the middle of nowhere.
It's terrible.
Yeah. So I mean, what I'm saying is though, nature's pissed, and I've said it once, and I've said it before.
Totally
They're gonna take back what's theirs. We invaded their space, you know, and we don't respect it enough anymore.
And they're starting to speak up.
Yeah, I'd be pissed. So, you know, so the other crazy thing, nature again. I said we were talking about this earlier. Would you ever take a selfie with a shark?
Well, if we went cage diving,
but like we were in a cage.
If I was out in nature and a shark was swimming up, would I stop and take a picture?
If a shark was on the beach, if a fisherman caught a shark and brought it up to the beach to get the hook out, release it, but you're somebody that wants to take a selfie with the shark and you put your hands in its mouth.
Well, that's dumb.
Would you do it?
Why would you put your hands in its mouth?
Somebody did, and they lost both of their hands.
Well, duh.
Taking a selfie with a shark.
What did you think?
Now that person can't take a selfie anymore because they got no hands.
Well, it was just a dumb move. What? Why? Number one, just why? That's all just a big why. Why? What were you thinking, child?
Why would you do that?
Why?
Why would you stick your hands by a shark's mouth that has thousands of rows of teeth and
like
sharp
shark
as
swims
razors?
Up and person's like, burp, and then the shark eats their hands?
No, the shark was on the beach being caught. But I got caught, and the person went and took a selfie with it.
And it like lunged at her and ate her.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Shark got fed.
It's not.
It's stupidity funny.
Yeah.
So would you do it?
Oh. No, I don't think I would do that. I would probably take a picture of the shark.
Right, but you wouldn't get close to it. You wouldn't be like, yo, shark, what's up? Meh. And the shark just goes,
like
Wah.
within inches of it? Absolutely not. It's not dead.
Now, I've caught a nurse shark before.
Yeah, I tried to catch one I wanted to catch it by hand.
I've caught a nurse shark before, and I had to bring it up to the stairs because it was too heavy to bring up to the pier, so I had to go down to the stairs, and I had to release it. But what I got to do was I actually got to hold it.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
That was pretty
I actually
neat.
held it and pet it, and then because I felt like it needed to be guided back into the water to get the water flowing back in its mouth and its gills, and I just let it, and it just went away. But I would never do that with any other kind of shark.
At our house?
That was in the Keys, yeah. I would never.
I almost hand caught one on that same pier.
You stuck your hand in its mouth?
No! yes. And then I went, woo! And swung it around while it was stuck to my hand. I went catfishing with a nurse shark. No, that is not what happened. I literally wanted to catch that. Like, I just wanted to see it. It was so beautiful. It was only like maybe a 3-foot long, pretty little nurse shark, and she hung out under the dock all day. She was super calm and just hanging out, and I just wanted to like see her for 1 minute. And so I ran up to the house I was in high school, ran up and I asked my grandfather, I'm like, what do I gotta do? I want this, I want it. He's a big avid fisherman, like caught groupers, like 600 pound
He had the record.
groupers,
He had the record in the Keys for a very long time.
Like sword sharks and sailfish. It's crazy. So he knew. He's like, Susu, you go downstairs and you get work gloves. You can't just touch the shark. Its skin is rough and it'll like cut your hands. Go get gloves. And that was his advice. Go get gloves. then go catch the shark.
And then stick your hand in his mouth.
Go out there. No, I tried to catch. I wanted to like just catch it by the tail, like at the base, like where his body meets his tail. Just catch him and then hold him underneath. I just wanted to like see. I wanted to like see it. I just wanted to see it. And then I was just gonna put her back. But I could. She kept swimming away. I couldn't do it.
I caught one, and I got to hold it. And this was a big one. This was like a 6-footer. This was a big one. So
caught some fish off of that dock.
Oh yeah, that dock was fun. I caught it didn't bring it to the pier. It broke loose right when I got it to the pier. It was like a 50, 60 pound.
Barracuda?
No, stingray, big.
Ooh, yeah.
The round ones.
That was great.
Yeah, that was a big one.
That flew out of the water.
That did fly out of the water. That's when I lost it. Jumped like 4 or 5 feet out of the air and then came back down and snapped the line. I was so bummed. Barracudas, yeah, we always caught them off. They were big ones, small ones, and stuff like that.
Bonefish. That was an art though. You had to be silent. You had to be out there for a long time.
And you had to throw that little. You had to throw that crab right in front of her, or a piece of shrimp, one or the other. So. Tarpon, you caught a tarpon though before we left. You caught a nice one too.
It was smaller.
It was probably like 3 feet, 2 feet. Yeah, it was a nice size. It wasn't a big one, but it was your only tarpon you ever caught.
Right.
So it was exciting.
Yeah. The needlefish. Always catching the needle.
The worst. The worst. They're a pain in the ass.
Grabbers.
Yeah, that's it.
Stole your shrimp.
Anybody that fish, around the world, hopefully you're enjoying what we're talking about. We used to fish a lot when we lived in the Keys where we first met. So, but man, losing hands, getting swallowed by whales, and catching fish.
It's all better with cannabis.
It's all better with cannabis.
Had I known.
What would you do? You lose. How it would suck if a shark took both of your hands.
You can't smoke a joint.
That's what I was gonna say. You can't even light a joint. Sucks.
My MacGyver skills would get so good.
Really?
Oh, I would do things with my arms
You would probably
couldn't believe.
You probably would learn with your feet really quick too.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Get them up there. Fix my hair.
It'd be funny if you could roll a joint with your feet.
You still have your arms.
I understand, but it'd be funny if you could roll a joint with your feet.
You could still do a lot.
If you would learn to roll a joint with your feet, that'd be some talent.
Yeah.
America's Got Talent.
There's no way you couldn't roll a joint with your toes. With the joint roller, you could.
Maybe. If someone's out there that can roll a joint with their toes, we'd love to have you on the show.
I'd have to use my big toe to push all the weed together.
Someone could do it. Well, we'd love to have you on the show.
You wouldn't be able to pinch, pick up and pinch. You'd have to have 8 Decades tools.
Yeah, you would.
You would.
See?
You really would.
There it is. You ready?
But how would I hold the tool with my toes?
I once saw a person that had no arms that was able to use chopsticks with their toes and eat with chopsticks.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty dope. So
I'm saying literally, I don't think you.
Imagine if you take
things
with your toes,
2
sets of chopsticks and roll a joint.
2 sets of chopsticks.
Yeah, you put chopstick in two of your toes, put a chopstick, and be able to roll a joint with the chopsticks.
Oh, use them as extremities.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm telling you, if someone could roll a joint like that, or roll a joint with your feet, we would have you on the show in a heartbeat, and we would smoke off your feet. Not off your feet, but we'd smoke the joint that came for your feet. Just
probably
to say
roll a blunt. I bet you could roll a blunt.
Yeah,
with your
I bet
feet.
you could.
The rolling paper would be, I think, too delicate.
Right. A blunt. Someone
would
could
be
roll.
challenging.
Smoke it out of your feet.
I bet they could. You could hold it with your feet, and I'll smoke it. I'm going to roll a blunt with my toes and then pass it to you, or actually hold it while you take a hit.
I'll take it. I don't mind your feet. You're the only feet in this earth that I don't mind.
They're clean.
They're good looking too. I don't like feet. It's not my thing.
No.
But your feet,
I've always said my backup plan is my feet.
Yeah, you always have said if podcasting doesn't work.
Some days I just get really discouraged. I work too fucking hard to have the struggle these days. And there's people just making money off of fucking pictures of their toes. I got cute toes.
You do got cute toes.
I think they could make me some money.
You ain't got no snaggle
Is there
feet.
an OnlyFans for senior citizens?
I'm sure there's this OnlyFans for everything.
Senior citizen toes? Because that's where you do that, right? Isn't that where you do these things?
I don't know. I've never been on it before. Have you ever been on it before?
Accidentally.
Well, then you look.
I didn't know because I didn't have an account.
Gotcha.
I hit a link and I was like, that's not what
OnlyFans is
not
you could
wanting
do.
to be there.
There's porn. There's picture taking. There's a lot of stuff that you can do on OnlyFans.
It's like a Facebook.
No.
Oh.
No, I don't think so. I've never been on it.
You just scroll through a feed.
Yeah, you can
Or you,
I think you could find somebody, and then if they do movies or porn or take
and
pictures
then
of
you
themselves.
see their things. You don't just see everybody's everything.
No,
it's like a dating thing.
I don't know. I've never been on it. You've been on it.
Well, haven't been on it. I went to it, and then I said, not where I want to be, and I left it.
Shit. All right. Well, I don't know much about it. Never been on it.
I'm always afraid that FBI is going to come to my door and be like, "Excuse me, we'd like to take your computer away."
Yeah, they're gonna worry about pictures of your toes and your feet.
They're really concerned about me.
Yeah.
I'm a huge
Mrs. Weedman.
Watch out.
There's been complaints about your toes
Yeah.
being a little too snaggly. We might have to take you in.
We got to take you down. We're shutting you down. Shut her down.
Closing up
Shut her down.
All right.
Shop is closed.
We're being silly on that Strawberry Shortcake. Thanks, Big Earl.
This is great.
This is Tiva for you.
I needed that. Thanks everybody for
Making
going on
us
that
laugh
little
for a
ride.
minute.
I hope you're high too.
That's why we always say we hope to
If not,
smoke
just
some.
rewind get stoned, and then listen.
That's what we always say. Hopefully you're smoking some big fat doinks while you're listening to the show.
I don't
it's the
even
only way
know.
to keep up with us.
What were we even just talking about? Whales.
We talked about a lot of things.
Whales,
fish,
led
sharks,
to only
missing
feet. Only feet. Is that
hands,
the name? Not only
fishing,
fans, only feet.
Fishing on the pier.
Is that
no
it,
hands.
maybe? Maybe
What?
that's It's not only fans. It's only feet.
All right. You ready to start the show?
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah.
Before we get started, though,
what?
Everybody, please check out 8decades.com. Mrs. Weedman's baby. Check out 8decades.com for all your accessory needs. Everything you're looking for, especially our fantastic smoke set. You'll never need another one, and you'll have to leave it to your kids. Check out 8 Decades for all your needs. Also, free shipping for first-time buyers right now, too. Right, Mrs. Weedman?
Yes.
Yeah, free shipping for first-time buyers. But also, one last thing.
First-time buyers.
I want to thank people who support the show by purchasing something on 8 Decades. By you supporting us, we were able to keep on doing this show. Thank you, Puerto Rico, for just purchasing something for us. I appreciate you. And
the whole country.
Yeah, the whole country. Yeah. So we
rolling trays for everybody.
Yeah, we appreciate you. So just by, like
you.
I said, supporting us at 8decades.com, we're able to keep on doing Weedman 420 Chronicles. You're investing in us. You're investing in the show. And that's what we ask for. So, and we appreciate you all doing that for us, whoever invests in us, so we can keep on putting out the news, the good laughs, the good fun. So thank you all out there for the support of 8decades.com. All right. Someone, a friend of mine, tried hash, and he had not smoking hash since he lived in Amsterdam back in the 70s. So him and his wife bought a little electronic rig. I don't know the name of it. I can't remember. And they smoked live rosin on Saturday. And he said to me it was the worst experience of his life and his wife.
Oh.
Terrible.
Why?
They smoked, it got them so high.
It was bad.
Yeah, that they were woozy. One of them was up till 3 o'clock in the morning. It was the worst experience, they said, and they love flour. I mean, they love the flour we give them. And they'll never do it again.
Oh,
it was such
that bad?
Yeah, and I said to him, I said, "Did you start low? What was your temperature?
Like how much did they take?
I mean, how big was the rip? I mean, it's happened to me. Yeah, a couple of years ago. It happened to me. I mean, I get it. We just smoked hash from our friend Wolfman this Saturday, and we know we've done it enough times now. We know our limits when it comes to hash. I mean, we ripped like 2 nice sized dabs, and but yeah, so I said, listen, I'm going to do a segment on live rosin and live resin and choosing the best cannabis extract for you, just because I want you to hear this episode and just learn. Maybe you'll try it again sometime. So we've talked about some of this before, but it's just a little more information on here. So when it comes to high quality cannabis concentrates, live rosin and live resin are 2 of the most sought after extracts. But what exactly sets them apart? Both are praised for their rich terpene profiles, potent effects, and flavorful experience. But they're made using very different extraction process. So we'll break down the key differences between live rosin and live resin, their production methods, effects, and which one might be the best for you. What is live resin? Live resin is a solvent-based cannabis extract known for its high terpene content and potent effects. It is made using freshly frozen cannabis, which preserves the plant's natural flavors and cannabinoids. Oh, I think he said he smoked live resin. I got to ask him again, not live rosin. I think he said he smoked live resin. How is live resin made? Making live resin involves hydrocarbon extraction, typically with butane or propane. Here's how it works. Fresh cannabis is flash frozen right after harvest to lock in the natural compounds. The frozen plant material is blasted with solvents like butane or propane to extract cannabinoids and terpenes. The solvent is then purged from the extract using low heat and vacuum pressure. The final product is a flavorful, golden, and sticky concentrate rich in THC and terpenes. Why people love live resin. Incredible flavor and aroma. High potency. Smooth dabbing experience. So with the flavor and aroma, thanks to the high terpene content, the live resin delivers a full spectrum cannabis experience. High potency, it's packed with THC, making it ideal for experienced users looking for strong effects. I think that's what he smoked, because he said they were slump lord meme god. It's a soft, saucy consistency, makes it perfect for dabbing or vaporizing. What is live rosin? Live rosin is a solventless concentrate, meaning it's made without any chemicals. Instead of using solvents like butane, live rosin is produced using only heat, pressure, and ice water. How is live rosin made? Live rosin is made through a completely natural extraction process. Fresh cannabis is frozen immediately after harvest to preserve the cannabis and terpenes. The frozen cannabis is washed with ice water to separate the trichomes, creating bubble hash. The bubble hash is then pressed with heat and pressure to release a golden terpene-rich resin. The result, a clean, flavorful, and chemical-free concentrate. Why people love live rosin? 100% solvent-free. No chemicals, just pure cannabis goodness. Unmatched purity and terpene profile, considered one of the cleanest and most flavorful concentrates. Smooth, potent effects, provides a full spectrum entourage effect as for well-rounded high. Which one should you choose? The best choices depend on your personal preference and how you like to consume cannabis. Choose live resin if you like, or if you want a flavorful, high-potency extract at a more affordable price. You don't mind solvent-based extraction methods. You prefer vaping or dabbing for a smooth experience. Choose live rosin if you want the purest, most natural cannabis experience, solvent-free. You're a terpene lover and crave ultra-fresh flavors. You don't mind paying a little extra for premium quality. How to consume live resin and live rosin. Both live resin and live rosin can be enjoyed in multiple ways. Dabbing, the best way to experience the full flavor and potency of these concentrates. Vape cartridges. Many brands offer live resin and live rosin carts for easy use. Infused joints or bowls. Add a little to your flower for an extra punch. Edibles and tinctures. Some products use live resin or rosin for the full spectrum effects. I do say I love live rosin edibles, but I think live resin hits a little harder than live rosin. We've done both, and I think live resin edibles hit just a little bit different.
Yeah.
Live rosin is kind of like a smooth. It's just very smooth, and I explained the difference between hash and distillate a bunch of times, like the roller coaster, you know. So I mean, with hash rosin, it's just that nice, easy, smooth American Eagle ride up and the ride down, you know. Live resin is like, I think, a little bit quicker. You know, it's not distillate would shoot you straight up and straight down, but it just like goes a little bit quicker, kind of like the Raging Bull. If that makes any sense.
Those are roller coaster references.
Yes, a Great America. Is live rosin stronger than live resin? Not necessarily. Live resin often has higher THC levels, but live rosin provides a smoother, more balanced high due to its full spectrum nature. Why is live rosin more expensive? Live rosin is more labor intensive to produce, requires premium quality flower, making it pricier than live resin. Do live resin and live rosin taste different? Yes. Live rosin has a fresher, more natural taste, while live resin has a bold, terpene-rich profile, but may contain more minor solvent residues. If you don't cure your solvent stuff, you can taste it. And I've tasted some stuff where they didn't cure it right, and I was like turned off like the moment I felt like I just put my lighter on my mouth and I was chewing on it, you know. Final thoughts. Live rosin versus live resin, which one wins? Both live resin and live rosin are top-tier cannabis concentrates with unique benefits. Live resin offers great flavor, high potency, and affordability. Live rosin delivers unmatched purity, solvent-free extraction, and a premium terpene experience. No matter which one you choose, both will elevate your cannabis experience to the next level. If you want to know more, you can check out the Grow Hour. When I did, Big Earl and I interviewed Wolfman, and then we did a next episode, his Burp in the Bag. We did a full press, and he taught everyone how to do a press. And then we did a roundtable discussion with Terp Fiend and Wolfman, two excellent makers of hash, and know a lot about it. So if you wanted to learn more, I would definitely check that episode out. Those 3 episodes out. Is your cannabis extract fake, Mrs. Weedman? Do you know what spotting CRC concentrates are?
Yeah, this is an enlightening piece of information.
Right? This was a good one.
Yes. CRC in cannabis extraction is an interesting topic, but what are they even talking about? In the world of cannabis concentrates, appearance plays a huge role in consumer preference. Many buyers associate light-colored extracts with higher purity and better quality. This has led some producers to use CRC, or color remediation column, to enhance the visual appeal of their products. While CRC can improve clarity and remove impurities, it has also sparked controversy due to the concerns about misleading quality, terpene loss, and safety risks. In this article, we'll break down how CRC works, why it's used, and what consumers should know before buying CRC processed cannabis extracts. So, how color remediation column works. CRC is a filtration method used in cannabis extraction. It involves running cannabis extracts, typically butane hash oil or BHO, or hydrocarbon extracts, through a column filled with filtering media, which removes undesirable pigments, plant matter, and other compounds. The column is filled with an absorbent material, multiple absorbent materials, such as silica gel, which removes chlorophyll and fats, activated carbon that absorbs color pigments and contaminants, magnesium silicate or T5 clay, which lightens color and removes moisture, and alumina oxide, which removes pesticides and other chemicals. Then the final extract is collected. It comes out cleaner, clearer, and lighter in color, making it look more refined. The main reason producers use CRC is to make dark or low-grade extracts appear higher quality. It's become common in the cannabis industry because it enhances appearance, making products more visually appealing, since consumers associate golden or light-colored extracts with higher purity. It also removes unwanted contaminants like excess chlorophyll, lipids, and plant matter, and it filters out residual pesticides, solvents, or heavy metals in some cases. CRC also aids in salvaging low-quality batches by turning old or oxidized extracts into visually appealing products, so producers can sell products that would otherwise be rejected by consumers. While CRC has clear advantages, many cannabis enthusiasts and experts criticize its widespread use. There are concerns that it's misleading consumers, leading them to think that product is more pure. Some CRC extracts lack potency, flavor, and full-spectrum effects, and end users could be paying a premium for CRC-treated, lower-quality extracts. The filtration process can remove terpenes, which affects flavor and aroma, and some CRC processes alter cannabinoid profiles, making extracts less effective. Some filtering agents can leave behind harmful residues, too. And if not done properly, CRC processing can introduce unwanted contaminants. Now let's talk about identifying CRC processed cannabis extracts. So when you're at your dispensary or you're looking online for the products that you want to buy, this is what you should be looking for. A sign of a CRC product might be extremely pale or white in color. While some naturally extracted concentrates are golden, unnaturally white or clear extracts may indicate CRC use. There could be a lack of strong terpene aroma. CRC extracts often lose their original smell and taste due to terpene loss. There can be harsh or bland flavor. If a concentrate tastes off, flat, or chemical-like, it may have been overly processed. And there should be or will be suspiciously low prices for high-quality extracts. If it looks too good to be true, it probably is. CRC extracts can be safe, but it really depends on how they're made. The biggest concerns come from poorly executed CRC processing. If it's not done properly, CRC filtration can leave harmful residues in the final product. Another concern is overuse of filtration agents. Some producers cut corners by using excessive chemicals, which can remove beneficial compounds while leaving behind potential toxins. And how about no lab testing? Some CRC products aren't tested for purity, meaning they could have unwanted byproducts. The journalist's best advice is to always buy from reputable sources that provide lab-tested products and results showing the cannabinoid and terpene content, as well as the absence of residual solvents or contaminants. If you want to avoid CRC, there are alternative methods for high-quality extracts. If you're looking for clean, terpene-rich extracts, consider live resin or rosin. These are both made using fresh frozen cannabis, preserving full-spectrum flavor and effects without excessive processing. You can also look for cold ethanol extraction. It retains more terpenes and cannabinoids while reducing impurities. Or CO2 extraction, a solvent-free method that produces high-quality, pure extracts. CRC is a powerful tool in cannabis extraction, but it comes with the risks and controversy. While it can remove impurities and improve appearance, not all CRC extracts are created equal. Consumers should be cautious and look for lab-tested, reputable products to ensure they're getting high-quality, safe concentrates. That's important.
Good journalism. Well, here's why, because I've never, I happened upon some new journalism. It's pretty great. Mm-hmm. I've read a couple of good articles from them.
Like a new source?
A new source, yeah. This International High Life. So I want to thank them for putting some good journalism out there. It's really good, well written, some good topics. I've learned a lot, and like I always say, if you never stop learning.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot reading a bunch of different stuff on their site, and just want to give them a shout out. Pretty good stuff. It's impressive.
Yep.
We like to eat. We do. We do like to eat. We're foodies. And we like to snack, and there's some ways to boost your high, and some foods you could be eating before smoking weed. Ever wonder if you can truly enhance your cannabis high? And we've talked about in the past some foods you can eat, or some foods that had different terpenes in there that might be right for your fruits and veggies and stuff. And so, believe it or not, though, the food you eat before or during your cannabis session can make a huge difference in how strong and long-lasting your high feels. Some foods help THC absorb more effectively, while others enhance mood, relaxation, or euphoria. Whether you're looking for to boost your high or control unwanted effects, the guide will show you the best foods to eat before, during, and after your cannabis experience. How foods can enhance your high. Cannabis interacts with your body's endocannabinoid system, which regulates mood, pain, appetite, and more. Certain foods contain terpenes, flavonoids, and fats that help THC bind more effectively to cannabinoid receptors, making you feel, or your high feel stronger. Terpenes, the natural compounds in fruit, herbs, and spices that enhance cannabis effects. Healthy fats help THC dissolve and absorb better in your system. Flavonoids and antioxidants enhance mood, relaxation, and euphoria. So let's explore something you want to eat. It might make you a little hungry. Maybe after you listen to this, you go get a snack and then try some stuff, Mangoes, we've talked about this, the ultimate high booster. Why it works. Mangoes contain myrcene, Mr. Weedman's favorite terpene, that helps THC cross the blood-brain barrier faster, leading to stronger, longer-lasting high. Eat a mango 30 to 45 minutes before smoking for the best effect. Works best with indica strains, enhancing relaxation and couch lock. Fun fact, many cannabis strains also contain myrcene, which is why mangoes complement weed so well. Dark chocolate. Yummy. We just got some chocolate pixies.
I'm going to eat some when we're done here.
Why it works. Dark chocolate is rich in flavonoids, which help THC bind more effectively to the cannabinoid receptors, enhances euphoria and relaxation. The darker the chocolate, 70% cacao, the better the effects. Pro tip, try melting dark chocolate into cannabis-infused hot drink for an extra boost. Nuts and healthy fats boosting THC absorption. Why it works, THC is fat-soluble, meaning it binds to fat molecules and gets absorbed more effectively and consumed with healthy fats. Best sorts of healthy fats are avocados, almonds, walnuts, olive oil, and coconut oil. Why we love cooking our edibles with coconut oil. Eating fatty foods before smoking can make your high hit harder and last longer. Here's a little tip. If you're making edibles, always infuse cannabis into fat, butter, oil, milk for maximum potency. Coconut oil, everybody. It's the key. Ghee. We like using ghee too. Clarified butter instead. Higher fat content. Not a lot of the, like when you make butter, sometimes you have to scrape the top off of it because it's that foamy stuff. That's you don't want that. So that's why you use ghee, because it's clarified already. They remove all that, right? Mm-hmm. Mrs. Butterworth's over there.
Yeah, something like that. Yes.
Sweet potatoes. The mood-enhancing powerhouse. Why it works. Sweet potatoes boost serotonin production, leading to a more positive and uplifting high. Great for combating anxiety and paranoia from strong THC strains. Works best with sativa strains, enhancing focus and creativity. Here's a fact. Sweet potatoes also help regulate blood sugar, reducing the likelihood of post-high munchies. Green tea for a smoother, more relaxing high. Why it works. Green tea contains catechins, which bind to cannabinoid receptors and enhance the relaxing effects of THC. Combines well with hybrid or indica strains for a stress-free high. Help with focus, relaxation, and reducing paranoia. Little tip. Try cannabis-infused green tea for the ultimate chill experience. Broccoli. Enhancing pain relief with cannabis. This one I did not know. Did you know this about broccoli? Did not know this. I know we call cannabis broccoli.
We do.
We use the broccoli symbol when we want to go smoke some flower, some plant, Why it works. Broccoli contains beta-carotene, a terpene that interacts with the CB2 cannabinoid receptors, enhancing weed's pain relief effects. Best for medical cannabis users who need pain management. Works well with CBD-rich strains for extra relief. Here's a little tip. Add steamed broccoli to cannabis-infused pasta dishes for a double health boost. Herbs, the little herbies and spices, the hidden cannabinoid booster. Why it works. Some herbs contain terpenes that enhance THC effects. Thyme, sage, and bay leaves contain pinene, which boosts mental clarity. Lemongrass increases THC absorption for stronger high. Rosemary helps with memory and focus. Little tip. Try adding these herbs to homemade cannabis edibles or teas for extra benefits. We've talked about black pepper before and reducing paranoia. Why it works. Black pepper contains beta-carotene, which can counteract THC-induced anxiety, perfect for calming and too intense high. Helps balance overpowering psychoactive effects. Little tippity tip. If you ever get too high, sniffing or chewing on black pepper can help bring you back down. Also, Neil Young chews on black peppercorns when he's too high. What foods to avoid when using cannabis? Caffeine can increase anxiety and paranoia when combined with high THC strains. Sugary processed foods can cause energy crashes and mood swings, ruining your high. Alcohol can make the high overwhelming and uncomfortable, leading to cross-fading effects. Some questions frequently asked. How long before smoking should I eat foods? Ideally 30 to 60 minutes before your session for maximum effects. Can I combine multiple foods for a stronger high? Yes. Try pairing mangoes, dark chocolate, nuts for enhanced cannabis experience. What is the best food to help you get high? Black pepper, lemon zest, or a high-protein meal can help calm your high down. Eating the right foods before or during your cannabis session can enhance your high, making it stronger, longer lasting, and more enjoyable. I know it's fucking wintertime right now, and all I think about is being at the beach with you again as soon as that first nice June day comes.
That would be nice.
But CBD could be useful in addition to sunscreen, hair care, wound healing products, and this is a new study too. We've talked about this before, but this is more studies, right?
Yep.
Tell us about it, Ms. Weedman.
All right. New research published in the journal Pharmaceuticals suggests that CBD could be a useful addition to certain skincare products, given its anti-aging and antioxidant properties, as well as evidence that it may speed the healing of wounds. Overall, we suggest that CBD exhibits many potential characteristics that can be used to develop topical cosmeceutical products, such as sun protection products, hair care products, or wound healing products, the study says, noting that low concentrations of the cannabinoid were also not toxic to cells during short-term treatment. Authors of the new study from Prince of Songkla University and the National Science and Technology Department Agency in Thailand wrote that CBD appears to influence a range of skin processes, making it an appealing natural ingredient for the development of cosmeceuticals. The researchers said the study aimed to investigate the safety and potential bioactivities of CBD by studying anti-aging and wound healing activities at the cellular level. The 3-person team looked at CBD's effects on 2 different types of cells, fibroblasts and keratinocytes. Keratinocytes, yes, and found that low concentrations did not induce cytotoxicity, but these concentrations significantly enhanced the growth of keratinocytes. keratinocytes and fibroblasts. I don't think I have to say that again. These results support our findings that CBD might have the promising potential to induce cell proliferation and promote some cell activities in the long term, the paper says. Accordingly, we suggest that CBD at specific concentrations is safe to use for skin applications. The study looked at CBD exposure over a period of 24 hours, though authors said future studies should also examine longer applications such as 48 and 72 hours to better determine any delayed effects. Researchers noted that the antioxidant effects of CBD appeared to counteract oxidative stress at the cellular level, which otherwise damages cell components and disrupts their function. As for wound healing, the study's findings suggest that CBD influences the expression of key genes involved in all phases of the wound healing process, supporting its potential as a therapeutic agent for skin repair and anti-aging applications. Going forward, wrote the team, future studies should employ 3D skin models as well as human skin to better understand skin processes after CBD application and to confirm the safety and activities of CBD over longer periods of time. They noted that their study employed a single-layer model of cells, which may not reflect the complexity of the actual skin layer. They also emphasized the need to better study possible risks. Ensuring the safety of CBD is a top priority before incorporating it into cosmetic products, the team said. We recommend conducting more experiments in further studies, such as genotoxicity tests, because CBD can activate mediators, which are necessary for angiogenesis and can potentially influence cancer growth. Another issue might be the degradation of CBD, the study notes, which can happen under exposure of light, extreme temperature, and high and low pH environments. To enhance the stability of CBD and reduce its degradation in cosmetic products, it should be protected from light and oxygen, stored at low temperatures, and formulated at a neutral pH, it says. This study adds to a body of research suggesting that CBD might be an effective treatment for certain skin conditions. For example, a study published last autumn by university researchers in India and Thailand found that cannabis oil containing CBD may help promote the healing of skin wounds. Another paper published last July in the Journal of American Academy of Dermatology found that applying CBD-infused lotion to the skin appeared to be tied to a lower risk of damage from exposure to ultraviolet rays. Researchers at George Washington University, Northwestern University, and the University of Miami and the Center for Clinical and Cosmetic Research wrote that 21% of those who used CBD cream had less damage than the control group that received a placebo. Another 47% had comparable damage, and 11% showed better results after taking the placebo versus the cannabis lotion. The possible benefits aren't limited to human applications, though. A separate study published in the journal Frontiers in Veterinary Science last year concluded that cannabis appears to be a viable alternative treatment option for dogs suffering from a common skin disease, especially if they experience adverse side effects from conventional steroid therapies. That study detailed the efficacy of full-spectrum CBD oil on a dog with autoimmune disease, discoid lupus erythematosus.
Pretty good.
Or DLE. I botched that up, but or DLE. The condition, which causes hair loss and redness that could progress to lesions, is typically treated with corticosteroids and other medications that can put strain on a dog's liver. A veterinarian prescribed a full-spectrum oil with 2-to-1 THC to CBD ratio, which was administered orally, at first 1 drop per day for 3 days and gradually increasing until the optimal dose for symptom control was identified. Within a few weeks, the dog exhibited significant improvement in dermatological signs, accompanied by a concurrent improvement in liver function, the study said. That's huge.
Yeah.
Interestingly, the owner reported an improvement in the dog's behavior shortly after discontinuing prednisolone and within the first day of receiving the cannabis oil. He was a little baked too, a 2-to-1 ratio.
That's pretty good.
I've always been steered away from THC with dogs.
Yeah.
And it's always that CBD is better.
Yeah.
But that ratio, I don't know, interesting.
Good for the dog.
Yeah. How about it?
Establishing a standard cannabis dose, new study introduces the index of cannabis equivalents. As legalization and use of cannabis increasing in around the world, a recently published study looked to establish a standard cannabis dose. Noted in the abstract, a standard dose could be useful in regulations, substance use guidelines, data collection, research, and also for the monitoring and as customary way to communicate low-risk recommendations and dose-related effects. The study, the Index of Cannabis Equivalents, a user-centered approach to standardization of cannabis dose response, was published in the Journal of Psychoactive Drugs in January of 2025 and received funding from Social Sciences and Human Research Council of Canada. The study focused on tolerance and mode of ingestion more so than most studies, which focus on cannabinoid content. Different cannabis consumption methods can produce varied psychoactive effects, which makes it difficult to establish compatible doses across products, explains Dr. Michelle St. Pierre, co-author of the study. In a news release from the University of British Columbia, Okanagan campus, this addresses the challenges by providing user-informed equivalences grounded in psychoactive effects, offering a practical framework to help individuals make informed decisions to better manage their cannabis use. It involved 1,368 participants, 42% were female between the ages of 18 and 93, and all who have used cannabis in the past. The resulting index of cannabis equivalents was created and established the following equivalent of a low dose of cannabis. 2 puffs on a joint is low dose. 2 puffs on a pipe, 2 puffs on herbal or concentrate vaporizer is equivalent to 1 hit on a bong. A 5 milligram THC edible, a quarter of a dab of a concentrate. Did you get all that?
Yeah, I read something about this too. Yeah.
So we'll read it again. So it was created and established the following equivalents. This is the Index of Cannabis Equivalents of a low dose of cannabis. Ready? 2 puffs on a joint, pipe, herbal, or concentrate vaporizer is equivalent to 1 hit on a bong. That makes sense?
Yep.
A 5 milligram THC edible and a quarter dab of a concentrate.
Okay.
All right? The abstract noted that the ability to generalize these results to a population with high tolerances may be limited, and they were based on participants who had reported lower tolerance. The research also concluded that the meaningful standardization of units of cannabis products in a manner similar to what has been achieved for alcohol represents a valuable step in establishing standard doses across different modes of cannabis administration. By creating practical and user-centered guidelines, the ICE can support harm reduction, public health initiatives, and consumer education while improving consistency in research and policy, says Dr. Zach Walsh of UBCO's Department of Psychology, co-author of the study. Dr. Walsh and Dr. St. Pierre conduct research at the Therapeutic, Recreational, and Problematic Substances Use Lab at UBC. One of their recent studies examined patient perspectives in approaching the therapeutic use of psychedelics with their physicians. Remember, a low dose is 2 puffs of a joint, or 2 puffs of pipe, herbal, or concentrate vaporizer. It's equivalent to 1 bong hit. Makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. So low dose, 2 puffs of a joint.
I was a 1 puffer for a long time.
Yeah, you were. It was just Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And we didn't really talk much about it, but there's some cannabis compatibility with your partner. Fun ways to explore and bond over weed.
Yes.
Tell us about it, Mrs Weedman.
Yep. Cannabis is more than just a way to relax. It's an experience that can bring couples closer together. Whether you're both seasoned smokers or brand new to the world of weed, there are plenty of fun ways to explore cannabis together. From figuring out which strains match your personalities to competing for the best joint roll, cannabis offers unique opportunities to bond. So let's dive into some exciting ways to share the cannabis experience with your partner. How about this one? A compatibility test. Find your perfect strain match. Ever wonder if your cannabis preferences match up with your partner's? Let's be real. There's no way to find out other than by taking a cannabis compatibility test. Think of it like a fun date night with a twist. First, compare your favorite strains. Are you an indica lover craving deep relaxation, or more of a sativa fan who loves getting energetic and creative? Maybe you're both hybrid fans and are into a balanced vibe. The cool part? You get to explore those preferences together. You can look at what's trending in the cannabis community, choose a couple of strains, and test them out together. You'll not only discover your favorites, but you'll also create a ritual of picking out strains together. You could also explore different methods of consumption. Once you've tried a few different methods, you might find a common ground, like vaping a smooth hybrid strain while watching a Netflix series, and poof, your cannabis compatibility is unlocked. How about trying a joint rolling competition?
I would lose.
Who's got the best roll? Get competitive.
Mrs. Weedman does.
Whether you're a joint rolling pro or a competitive newbie, there's nothing more fun than having a joint rolling showdown with your partner. Grab some of your favorite strains and have a roll-off. You can judge based on who rolls a cleaner looking joint. Or maybe it's about speed, who can roll the fastest. The stakes are high, but the fun is even higher. Bonus points if you throw in a creative challenge. Ever see a heart-shaped joint? How about a rainbow joint using different colored papers?
Or if you can roll a joint with 2 chopsticks with your feet.
Yes. Go wild and see what you can come up with. And whoever has the most inventive designs. Rolling joints isn't just a fun competition, it's a skill. If you and your partner practice together, you'll get better over time and maybe even find some new quirky techniques along the way. And you could always, maybe one of you is not a consumer, so you can have a first-time cannabis use together. That's another way to bond. Make it a special experience. If one of you is new to cannabis, it can be a little intimidating, especially if you're worried about overdoing it. But fear not. Trying cannabis for the first time can be an unforgettable bonding experience if done right. The key is to make it relaxing and fun. Start with some lighting, and if you're feeling extra cautious, try a CBD heavy strain, which is non-psychoactive and gives a chill, relaxed vibe without the high. It's a great way to ease into weed, especially for first-timers. Create a cozy vibe with dim lighting, a comfy space, and your favorite music playlist in the background. If you're introducing your partner to cannabis for the first time, remind them to be patient. Just don't rush. This moment should be about enjoying the experience and not stressing over the high. And don't forget to bring some fun snacks. If you're feeling playful, try coming up with a themed snack lineup, like the best munchies ever, where you and your partner pick a few snacks you've never tried before. Cannabis has so much potential to be your shared experience that strengthens your bond with your partner. Whether you're finding the perfect strain match, competing for the best joint roll, or introducing your partner to cannabis for the first time, there's something exciting about exploring weed together. Plus, with cannabis becoming more mainstream and even trending on social media, #CannabisCouples, it's the perfect time to make it a part of your relationship rituals. So light up, have fun, and enjoy the ride. There's no shortage of ways to keep your connection strong. I think that was cute.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Especially for people that like want to do cool stuff.
Yeah.
Try
cute.
different things.
Yeah.
Explore. What was one of our favorite shows on Nickelodeon in the mornings that the kids used to watch? And I'll give you the host. No, Steve was one of the hosts.
Blue's Clues.
What was the song, or what would they used to say when the mail came?
Mail time.
We got mail.
We got mail.
From a listener out of Iowa. Hi, my name is Josh, and I've been listening to the podcast for quite a while now. Sadly stuck in Iowa. It's the only thing that gets me through my Thursdays. I just watched Waterboy last night, and when Mr. Weedman said medulla oblongata, I didn't say it that way, though. Mrs. Weedman said it the right way. So, Josh, thank you for giving me some credit. Josh said he lost it. Much love, you guys. Do great and keep it up. Thanks, Josh, from Iowa. We appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
Thanks for the love. Let's see here. Business, political, and state news. I'm going to give a shout out to our friend Jason from Illinois News Joint. Always keeping up with the Illinois news. I learn a lot from him, so thanks. And I'm going to take one of these articles that you wrote called "The Illinois Bills Would Create On-Premise Cannabis Consumption." We know some people that are fighting for cannabis consumption laws here in Illinois, and I don't remember the name of
the ICCA, Illinois Cannabis Consumption Act.
Thank you. I suck with acronyms, so thank you, Mrs. Weedman, for having my back. So, and this is Illinois' news joint writing about this, but there's a lot of people fighting for this. And Mr. and Mrs. Weedman have tried to get a cannabis consumption law going in the neighborhood we lived in. We were told, we're not quite ready yet, young man.
Nah, it wasn't quite like
That's the way it felt, though.
It did feel that way. It definitely felt that way.
It did feel that way. So the Illinois bill would create on-premise cannabis consumption act. House Bill 4513 introduced by Representative Justin Slaughter. Senate Bill 1772 introduced by Senator Kimberly A. Lightford. And House Bill 3061 introduced by Representative Sonia M. Harper contained identical wording for the creation of the On-Premise Cannabis Consumption Act. The On-Premise Cannabis Consumption Act provides the county and municipality may issue licenses for temporary events and cannabis hospitality venues that will allow the consumption of cannabis or cannabis-infused products and for the sale of cannabis paraphernalia at such a temporary events or venues. The Act defines cannabis hospitality venue as a public or private restaurant, bar, or other licensed businesses that allow communal consumption of cannabis or cannabis-infused products on premise. Notwithstanding any other provision of this Act, smoking is allowed in the following areas: private residence or dwelling places, a licensed dispensary, hotel, motel, sleeping rooms that are rented to guests and are designated as smoking rooms, Mrs. Weedman. Hotel and motel, Holiday Inn establishment may also apply and be licensed under the provisions of the Act and may host consumption events as detailed in the Act. Retail tobacco stores, enclosed laboratories and that are excluded from the definition of place of employment, common smoking rooms in long-term care facilities, a convention hall of the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center. That's random.
A little bit.
A temporary events or cannabis hospitality venues licensed under Act. An applicant for a temporary event permit under the section must apply for the permit in the manner required by the ordinance of the government unit. Permit fees assessed under the section must be reasonably related to the cost of inspecting and regulating the temporary events. Municipalities may choose to prohibit cannabis hospitality venues from serving alcoholic beverages. The governmental unit may not adopt the ordinance or rule that. A, prohibits a person who holds a license issued under the section from adopting policies that allow persons attending the cannabis hospitality venue to bring cannabis, cannabis-infused products, or cannabis paraphernalia into the club. B, imposes public health or safety standards on cannabis hospitality venues, and those standards serve no purpose other than deterring the consumption of cannabis or cannabis-infused products at the cannabis hospitality or venue. Prohibits the lawful preparation and sale of food and beverages or the lawful sale or rental of cannabis-related paraphernalia so long as the cannabis hospitality venue is appropriately licensed and not compliance for such activities.
Prohibits. Like, why can't you have food? And why can't you have a retail area?
You would want people to have food.
That's going to draw people in.
Right. You got to have a
reason for people to
stay. And you also
stay.
have to make money. You can't sell weed. You're not a dispensary.
What are you going to do? Just have a space for free?
It makes no sense. So A, B, and C always be closing. Should not close on this. These need to be looked at. Who
wrote this?
Illinois News Joint, but this is the bill. What's in the bill?
Right.
In the bills. So the bill 3513, Senate Bill 1772, House Bill 3061. And it's written by Representative Justin Slaughter.
But this isn't the agenda of ICCA.
No.
That's what I didn't mean. Like, who wrote this? That's what I'm saying. Who wrote the bill?
That's what I said. I read the people. Yes, it's these people here that wrote the bill.
Wow.
Yes, Justin Slaughter, no relation to Sergeant Slaughter. Senator Kimberly A. Lightford, and Representative Sonia M. Harper.
Those are not helpful.
That's not. I mean, some of it's good. But
some of it's good.
A, B, and C needs to be.
If you understand the culture and what has to happen, I mean, like, and just theoretically, you need to have some way to bring revenue into your business.
100%. How are you supposed to charge tax dollars to bring into the community too? Right. You should be able to serve and drinks and coffee and pizzas or whatever. If you want to do a restaurant style thing too, if you just want to bring,
it's going to get wild and crazy if you've got food.
So ass backwards. We're falling behind in not just Illinois. everything I've been reading now with I was a big fan of Kennedy. You know, I thought when he was running for president, he's ass backwards now. He's falling back. I read a bunch. I didn't even want to talk about it. Talk about what I read.
Like he had such a strong pitch, and now he's like now it's not.
Yeah, now he's not.
He's
now
just
we need
melting.
We need extensive research to really figure this all out. High dose cannabis is really messing people up. Dangerous.
Bad.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, everything that he talked about when he was on his campaign trail to where it's an absolute reversal.
Yeah.
I would like to take a quote from the Super Bowl from Kendrick Lamar. Wrong way. We're going the wrong way, basically. wrong way with cannabis right now. I don't understand why we're going so backwards in time. It feels like we're going back to the Reefer Madness days in cannabis law. We were supposed to be moving forward. We were supposed to have federal legalization at least coming this close to it. I'm not talking about I'm talking about totally descheduling. I'm not talking about putting it at Schedule 3. We shouldn't even be talking about this anymore. This should be all we should be talking about now is the money we could put into research and how it can help.
Right.
And also harm. We need to know both.
Yeah, got to know everything.
Right. You got to know the ins and outs of this plant.
There will be more people consuming than ever. And then we have more opportunity for research and data and information and
and we're going backwards.
Funding's
been canceled for research right now too until they figure all this money situation out. I'm sure stuff will come back. Right. But once they figure out where all this money's been running to, you know. Right. So I mean, it's just sad to see us going 10. I'm not even gonna say 3 step back. I'm talking about I feel like we're 10 step backs right now.
It's rough.
It's really bad. But thank you, Jason from Illinois' New Joint for that awesome article. Appreciate you always keeping up in Illinois politics and laws and stuff like that. You keep me well informed. Thank you. Psychedelics are, and here's what. Ready? I'm gonna read this title. This is what pissed me off. So I even made this the second article, the second caption to talk about in Political State and Business News. Psychedelics are way ahead of marijuana in federal legislative momentum, Democratic lawmaker says, while criticizing Biden's lack of cannabis action. Remember I said a long time ago, could have been 2 years ago or 3 years ago, if psychedelics get descheduled first, I will be so angry. Because I like psychedelics too. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I've taken a few hits here and a few mushrooms there, and I love psychedelics, but I wouldn't do psychedelics all the time. Like I smoke cannabis. Fuck no, I don't be tripping balls all the time. And if mushrooms and psilocybin and MDA and LSD get ahead of this, I'm gonna be irate. This costume's coming back and puffing away through the streets. So this Lou Carrera, Democratic congressman, criticized President Biden for not advancing cannabis reform. Yeah, he told us for 4 straight years he was going to do it. Highlighting that psychedelics are moving faster legislatively, Carrera noted that psychedelics like MDMA and psilocybin have bipartisan support and are being researched by the VA, while cannabis reform has stagnated for decades. Yeah, a lot longer than that. Although Biden started a cannabis rescheduling process and issued pardons, Carrera and the others are frustrated with the lack of progress, especially compared to the rapid strides made in psychedelic research. Federal agency will host open and candid discussion on marijuana breathalyzer technology. The National Institute of Standard Technology will host a 2-day event on April 25th to discuss cannabis breathalyzer technology, bringing together government officials, researchers, and industry representatives. The goal is to address challenges in developing reliable tests for marijuana impairment, particularly in driving cases. Current research suggests THC levels alone are not reliable indicators of impairment, unlike alcohol. Findings from workshops will be shared in a public report. Michigan cannabis sales begin 2025 a little soft. Michigan cannabis sales in January rose slightly from a year ago and fell about 6.9%. 247.3 million sales were up 1.9% from a year earlier. I don't feel sorry for you. 247 million is pretty good for January. It's one of the slowest months of the year in Michigan, so I wouldn't panic yet. But here's what I'd be panicking about Michigan. Wow. Oh my gosh. What is your governor, who I actually like Whitmer. I actually like her a lot. When she was running for president, I would have voted for her if she would have fucking got up there. I thought she had some good ideas. But Michigan Whitmer plans to hike cannabis taxes would wreck Michigan's industry. You ready how high she's ready to fucking throw this out there? Governor Gretchen Whitmer plans to increase Michigan's recreational marijuana excise tax from 10% to 32%.
Why?
32% is facing backlash from the cannabis industry insiders.
Yeah.
They argue that the tax hike would drive consumers back to the illicit market. No, not just the illicit market.
Illinois and Indiana.
No, not Indiana. Ohio. People won't be coming from Ohio anymore to go to your state.
Right.
People won't be going from Indiana and Illinois, right? Illinois and Indiana to your state. Why?
Right.
We got in Illinois. We got lower taxes than you now. Our prices are still a little higher.
Yeah.
But I mean, tell you what, you're gonna lose about $50 million a month just from people from coming in from Illinois over to you. You know, what are you thinking, Whitmer? You're making so much money. You did $3 billion at 10% tax. That's not enough. What is wrong with you people? Stop using fucking cannabis as your cash cow, because it's not. And I hope you raise it 32%, and I hope it fucking blows up in your face and everybody goes back to the caregivers and goes back to the fucking traditional market and goes to all these events and farmers markets and say, screw you, Whitmer, because what you're going to do is you're going to destroy the whole entire industry in your state. You're going to blow it. Michigan would have one of the highest cannabis tax rates in the U.S., trailing only Washington State. Critics also claim that the purpose misrepresents cannabis as comparable to tobacco. Shame on you, Whitmer. Man. Another thing in Michigan, sheriff tells Congress that legalizing marijuana helps offset issues with unregulated intoxicating hemp products. A Michigan sheriff is advising Congress that state-level marijuana legalization has helped mitigate problems related to unregulated intoxicating hemp products that non-legal states are experiencing. Good for you, sheriff. Oh my God! Can you believe if she does that?
That'd be nuts.
So stupid. All right, if you need to go to like 2% more, 12%, fine. You want to be greedy, but what's 10% of 3?
No, it's like they go to 12, and then the next year they're at 14.
Right.
You know,
you're just gonna like people. You're forcing people to leave the legal market. You're forcing people out.
Yeah, she won't care because it won't hit her bottom line, because the sales will go down, but the taxes will go up. So their earnings, the state's earnings, will be the same.
Right, somewhat.
She's probably getting paid by Illinois and Indiana politicians to stop.
Possibly. I don't put it past anybody anymore in politics who's getting handouts after what I'm seeing. Recreational marijuana is legal in Colorado Springs. Finally!
Yay.
Recreational marijuana is now legal in Colorado
time.
Springs following the approval of ballot question 300. Existing medical marijuana dispensaries can apply for licenses to sell recreational cannabis starting April 14th of 2025. However, new regulations prohibit dispensaries with 1,000 feet of schools or daycares. That's fine. Critics include some city council members express concerns about potential negative impacts such as increased youth access and homelessness. Why do politicians still bring that up when it's been proven that youth use decreases and people don't go homeless because of cannabis? People go homeless because of fucking meth and crack and fucking high uses of heroin and fentanyl.
How about opioids that their doctor prescribes?
Right. Hey, what are you homeless for? Man, I smoking too much weed, motherfucker.
That doesn't happen.
What? Dude, just come to my house and I'll give you weed so you don't go homeless. If it's that bad, find a home grower that'll fucking throw you a couple nugs. I just did it to a friend of ours, right? Needed some weed.
Yep.
You know, I threw him a bag. I'm like, here, take it, man. I got plenty. You know what I'm saying? Just people don't go homeless over weed that I know of. And if you do, man, I'm sorry. So the legalization.
Maybe weed's not the problem.
Yeah. The legalization marks a shift for the city and previously rejected recreational cannabis. Alabama, lawmakers moved to ban Delta 8 and other THC variants statewide. Don't do it yet. You still got to approve your dispensaries and stuff and get legal cannabis going, man. After at least 2 Alabama cities moved to ban Delta 8 THC products, State Senate Tom Melson of Florence has introduced a bill that would outlaw the substance statewide. SB 132 would classify Delta 8, Delta 10, and other psychoactive effect variants as Schedule 1 controlled substances. It's not that bad. Delta 8 is the light version of weed. listen to my show. Listen to this section when we talk about all the different deltas. Placing them in the same category as marijuana, cocaine, and heroin. Currently, Delta 8 THC, a less potent alternative to marijuana, is legal for adults and sold in vape shops, gas stations, and other retail locations. Cannabis industry faces debt reckoning without bankruptcy help. Big multi-state operators have $6 billion of debt coming due. Cannabis companies aren't allowed bankruptcy protection. Billions.
Wow.
I don't want to say what I really want to say. I'll wait till after the show and I'll tell you my opinion, Mrs. Weedman, because I'm excited. The cannabis industry is facing a financial crisis as companies struggle with growing debt. Exaggerated, exasperated. I pronounced that word awful.
It's close.
Can you say it?
Exasperated.
Thanks.
Exasperated.
By high interest rates and lack of bankruptcy protections due to marijuana's federal legality. Without access to federal bankruptcy courts, many cannabis businesses are forced to expand expensive alternatives or closures. As profits shrink and debt mounts, the situation could lead to widespread defaults, creating turmoil within the industry. Ooh, MSOs in debt. Ooh. East Dubuque, home team. Ready?
Yep.
Benefiting financially from dispensaries.
Yeah.
We have some friends that work out there. As the state of Illinois marks 5 years since recreational cannabis became legal, local dispensaries continue providing significant tax revenue boost to the Joe Davis County communities that they call home. East Dubuquans receives both 1.5% local sales tax and 3% excise tax on sales at dispensaries. Whew, that's a lot on top of everything else you got to spend on taxes. Ooh, that's a lot. But if it's going to good use, I'm not saying much. In the city limits. In fiscal year 2002, the city reported $161,853 in cannabis excise tax revenue.
Wow.
Wait. Compared to $380,802 in the fiscal year of 2024. The city recorded cannabis excise tax revenue at $429,615 during the 2024 fiscal year and $459,623 during the 2023 fiscal year.
Wow.
Little old East Dubuque in the house.
Nice.
Everybody that's coming over from Iowa, like our friend that wrote us the fan mail, coming over, thanks for giving East Dubuque that there's dispensaries out there that get like 3,000 people a day.
Wow.
A day.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's
crazy. That's a lot of moolah.
That is.
In tax revenue and because there's like just in East Dubuque, I think there's 3 dispensaries now.
Wow.
3 maybe, and there's one.
And they're that busy.
Yes. Well, one was that 2 more came in. So that one store was like extremely busy. I mean, 3,000 people a day. Are you fucking kidding me? I would take 50 people a day. Man, 3,000.
Right.
How do you, I mean, holy jeez. Good for you, East Dubuque.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're using that tax income wisely and giving it back to the people. ACLU Wisconsin finds racial disparities in marijuana arrests, urges legalization. The ACLU of Wisconsin reports reveals significant racial disparities in marijuana-related arrests, with black residents being more likely to be arrested than white counterparts. Despite similar usage rates, the organization is urging for marijuana legalization to address these racial inequalities and reduce the harms of criminalization. The ACLU highlights that current laws disproportionately affect minority communities and supports a push for comparative cannabis reform in Wisconsin. Joe Montana, GOP senator's bill would require people to register and pay a $200 annual fee to use recreational marijuana. $200 to go buy weed. I gotta pay.
You have to pay.
I gotta pay you. It's
like
a bill.
A permit.
Yes, just like a gun permit and just like a fucking
$200.
$200. Like the tax revenue is not enough. Now you gotta charge people.
Come on.
The Montana bill proposed by GOP Senator Greg Hertz, shame, Greg Hertz,
money grab,
would require adults to register and pay $200 annual fee to use recreational marijuana.
That's so dumb.
I'm just going right back to the fucking traditional market. Fuck you and your $200. You can stick that right up your ass. Sorry. The legalization also mandates carrying a cannabis card at all times for law enforcement verification. Really? Critics, including the Marijuana Policy Project, argue that the bill undermines voter-approved cannabis legalization and could lead to government overreach and recriminalization. Advocacy groups are mobilizing against the proposal, calling it a violation of Montana's freedoms. If it wasn't February right now in Montana, which is probably like 100 below zero, Mr. and Mrs. Weedman would come puffing away into Montana because I tell you what, That's some fucked up shit right there. That I have to pay you $200 to buy weed, or I'm already getting charged outrageous prices and outrageous taxes, and now I have to pay you $200 annually?
Right.
Yo, Mr. Hertz, sit on it, man. Just sit on it, dude. You're just terrible. Ohio rejects female orgasmic difficulty as a medical marijuana qualifying condition while allowing autism petition to proceed. You got something against orgasm, Ohio? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, what's the big deal?
Here's their reasoning. Ohio's Medical Cannabis Board rejected a petition to add female orgasmic difficulty as a qualifying condition for medical marijuana, arguing that the many patients with FOD could qualify under existing conditions like pain or PTSD. Advocates plan to resubmit in the future, highlighting the FOD effects millions of women globally. Meanwhile, a petition to include autism spectrum disorder as a qualifying condition will proceed to public comment and experts review. I bet you it's a man writing the law, or rejecting it. Bunch of men don't care for the FOD. Probably got small penises too, and their wives hate them.
Gosh. Wow, Mr. Weedman.
On a roll right now.
Yeah.
I ain't taking no shit no more. Everything I'm reading right here is pissing me off.
Yeah.
It's putting me in a bad mood.
Tell them.
FDA grants fast-track designations to cannabis withdrawal syndrome drug. The FDA has granted fast-track designation to Alias Farms drug AEF117, developed to treat cannabis withdrawal syndrome. The status accelerates the review process, recognizing the need for treatment options as CWS affects millions of frequent cannabis users, causing symptoms like irritability, anxiety, and sleep disturbances. Well, I'm irritable because of all the shit I just read about your states. And sleep disturbances. The fast track designation could help bring the drug to market more quickly, offering a solution for those who are struggling with dependence. Just like the homeless people in Colorado Springs, too, right? They're dealing with that because of cannabis, right? Just so stupid. Federal funding freeze to hit medical marijuana research. The U.S. government is halting federal funding for medical marijuana research. This decision has significant implications for scientists and institutions studying the medical applications of cannabis. The funding freeze is expected to delay ongoing research projects and hinder the development of new treatments involving medical marijuana. A New Jersey bill would let medical marijuana dispensaries sell recreational weed without town approval. The legislation aims to speed up the state's cannabis market expansion, but could face pushback by municipalities that opted out for recreational sales. Ex-Navy SEAL Robert O'Neill, who killed Osama bin Laden, set to sell his brand in New York City. Robert O'Neill, the decorated ex-Navy SEAL who shot Osama bin Laden, and he fired the bullets at the Al-Qaeda fiend, is mellowing out as an owner of a new cannabis firm, Operator Canna Company, and will soon start selling his brands in state-licensed marijuana in New York City pot shops. Louisville firefighters. This is the best. The Navy SEAL. And this is probably the two best things I'm going to read to you today. Louisville firefighters can temporarily use medical cannabis while off duty without facing disciplinary action, thanks to recent judge's order. The union representing the firefighters took legal action after the department initially prohibited the use of medical cannabis, which became legal in Kentucky on January 1st. The judge's order will remain in effect until the injunction hearing in March, which will seek a permanent order. Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Here, what I'm going to tell you, firefighters of Louisville, because it's one of my favorite cities to go to. One of my favorite pizza joints is in the country is there, and some of my favorite wings. Mamas. Oh, mamas, I love you. Don't fuck this up, firefighters. Don't fuck this up by showing up to work high and ruining it for the rest. Don't be that dick. I'm telling you right now, oh my God, I'd be mad as hell if someone fucked it up.
Think that
you never know.
I know.
You never know. You never know. That's all I gotta say. Hey, we got people sticking hands in sharks' mouth to take selfies. I don't put it past anybody to pop a 5 milligram edible in thinking, oh, no one's gonna notice.
Right.
I'm in pain.
Right.
You know? Just don't fuck it up. You get, one day, 24 on, 48 off. You got fucking 36 hours to have fun.
I think they have 48 on, 24 off.
No, I think it's reverse.
24 on, 48 off.
Yes, I think it's that way. If you're a fireman out there and we fucked up, don't slap me. New Mexico lawmakers vote to strengthen employment protection for medical marijuana patients. Oh, this is a good one, too. New Mexico lawmakers have advanced a bill that would further protect medical marijuana patients in the state from being penalized at off-duty use of cannabis. Arkansas House bill, this is another good one. Arkansas House bill passes bill dedicating marijuana tax revenue to fund school breakfast for students. The Arkansas House of Representatives have approved legislation to use medical marijuana tax revenue to fund free school breakfast for all students, regardless of whether they are qualified for federal free and reduced price meal programs. Hell yeah. Free fucking breakfast for everybody. Use cannabis tax revenue. See, I like that wisely. Unlike Whitmer of fucking Michigan, that just wants it as a cash cow. North Carolina voters support legalizing medical marijuana in a new poll with strong backing across party lines. A recent poll shows strong support for medical marijuana legalization in North Carolina, with 71% of likely voters in favor. Support spans across party lines, with 62% of Republicans and 78% of Democrats backing the reform. The only demographic group not in favor is those over 80. Despite publicly backing legislative protests has stalled in the past, though the recent comments from lawmakers suggest there may be opportunity to move forward with the session. And that's the news, everybody. Oh, wait, did I? Oh, no, that's international news. We'll go to that in a minute. There's some big brands in the United States right now, Mrs. Weedman, huh?
Yes, there are.
Some big brands. Tell us about who's selling the most.
In weed in America.
Yeah.
Yes. The piecemeal approach to weed legalization has led to a lack of consistency in the market. Unlike other consumer packaged goods, which can be shipped across the country, cannabis is state specific. Product availability varies widely from state to state, although many brands have been able to expand their footprint considerably. Knowing this, one may wonder, which brand is the biggest in America? In terms of cannabis sales, there's definitely a clear winner. And if you guessed the mega popular Cookies brand, you'd actually be wrong. According to Hoodie Analytics data, the country's top-selling weed brand is the California-based behemoth Stizzy, or Steezy. I hear it said both ways. Available in 7 states, Stizzy is best known for its proprietary vape pods. The brand also has flower, pre-rolls, edibles, and a newly launched beverage in a wide variety of strains and flavors. With so many SKUs and branded retail, the company is raking in the dough. According to Hoodie, Stizzy raked in $625 million in sales in 2024 alone.
That's a lot of dough.
Yeah. The mega brand is not without controversy, though. Facing multiple lawsuits in recent years alleging everything from banned pesticides in their products to involvement in the illicit market. Last month, the company was hit with a massive data breach, potentially affecting upwards of 400,000 customers. Despite negative press, consumers continue flocking to the brand, which even has its own subreddit with more than 13,000 subscribers. In addition to being the overall top-selling cannabis brand, Stizzy is the second best-selling brand in the pre-roll category, with $122 million in joints sold last year alone. Following Stizzy in overall sales is Select with $453 million. The Curaleaf-owned brand is known for its vaporizers, but also offers a line of edibles. In third place is High Supply, bringing in $382 million last year. The flagship flower brand by Cresco Labs is available in several states, but has particular dominance in Illinois, where weed sales have remained robust. Brand loyalty in cannabis will continue to evolve along with legalization. However, brands that emerged as clear favorites in the early days of regulated pot could be staking their climb in the future nationwide market. Whether Stizzy stays on top remains to be seen, but with over 500 million sold in 2024, the outlooks are seemingly positive.
That's a lot of moolah.
That's a lot.
A lot of moolah.
Yeah.
Proud of those companies.
Mm-hmm.
Do I use their products? No, I grow my own weed. So, but that's a lot of
good
moolah.
Branding.
Market. They spend a lot of money on marketing. A lot of money on.
They taste good.
Yeah,
People like them.
Just not my thing.
Right.
But they're a lot of money, a lot of followers, and they spend a lot. Some of the cannabis events we've gone to, like NECAN. Or Champs Trade Show.
Yeah,
man,
they have a big setup.
Oh my gosh, booths spend between Cookies and Steezy and some of the other brands you mentioned. Some of the booths these people put up are just holy shit.
Yeah.
Spend mega bucks. So to make that kind of money, you got to spend that kind of money, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So. International news. Australia medical cannabis revenue may outpace top EU markets, report shows. Outside North America, marijuana investors and business owners tend to focus on Germany, Poland, and the United Kingdom as the major medical cannabis industry growth drivers. However, one market has the potential to outgrow them all and looks to be on track to do so in the near future. Australia. For our friends from down under, Tez, what's up, brother? Medical cannabis revenue is expected to grow from around 600 million, 955.1 million Australian dollars in 2024 to more than 1.2 billion by 2028, according to Prohibition Partners. For comparison, Australia's projected total is more than half of the projected value of all medical cannabis sales in Europe at 2.2 billion by 2028, with Germany's sales accounting for 1.2 billion alone. Not even recreational. Australia. Imagine if they go wreck with all the tourism.
Right.
Holy jeez. Brazil's agricultural agency plans long-term research into cannabis cultivation. Brazil's agricultural research agency, Embrapa, which helped turn the country into leading grain exporters, preparing a 12-year research program that could do the same for cannabis cultivation in the farming powerhouse. Unfortunately, it's not even legal in Brazil, though. Crazy. PM wants country prepared before pursuing marijuana legalization. Prime Minister of St. Martin, Dr. Luc Mercelina, emphasized the need for proper preparation before pursuing marijuana legalization. While he acknowledged the growing topic, he stressed the importance of addressing the country's social, economic, and healthcare readiness, especially concerning mental health services. Mercelina mentioned that legalization would have wide-reaching implications, drawing comparison to the Netherlands' regulated approach. This priority to ensuring the country can handle the impacts before engaging in legislative discussion about marijuana. Chinese marijuana vape tech giant ran illegal monopoly lawsuit claims. A lawsuit filed by Ertz Healing, an Arizona marijuana retailer, accuses Chinese vape tech giant Seshing S'more technology of running an illegally monopoly. The company allegedly colluded with U.S. distributions to fix prices and eliminate competition for marijuana vaporizers. The lawsuit seeks damages and claims that S'more engaged in anti-competitive conduct through agreements that limited competition. This case follows other legal challenges, including patent disruptions involving S'more. Russians detain another American. One comes home. Mark Fogel comes home. Another one gets arrested. But there's a catch. Russia has arrested another American, Kay Byers, for cannabis-related charges. Days after the release of Mark Fogel, an American medical marijuana patient detained in Russia, Byers was allegedly carrying cannabinoids-infused marmalade or CBD gummies, which led to his arrest at Moscow airport. Hey, you got some of that marmalade? Hey, yo, you're getting arrested for marmalade, motherfucker. Put your hands up. That's simply laughing, but it's so funny. So anyway, at Moscow airport, despite his explanation that the gummies were prescribed by a U.S. doctor, he faces potential serious charges, reflecting Russia's strict stance on cannabis. But the State Department on Tuesday, which is today, 2/18/2025, confirmed to ABC News that Byers had been released. And because of the talks that are going on right now between Russia and the United States, they thought it was in good faith that they would release another cannabis smuggler, as they call us when we come into Moscow with cannabis. We're a bunch of smugglers. So welcome back home, Byers. Mark Fogel, you gave a great speech. I saw it on TV. You were heartfelt, holding that American flag. Proud of you. Don't stop smoking weed, though, now that you're home. And Kay Byers, dude, where'd you get that marmalade from? Thai cannabis farm catches fire. Gets entire neighborhood high. Cannabis farm in Potheads experienced a fire due to a short electrical circuit. Smoke from the blaze spread to the surrounding area, causing residents to feel dizzy and laugh uncontrollably. No injuries were reported. The estimated damage is around $7,900 or 200,000 baht. Not that bad. Just grow more weed. That's international news, everybody. Here's something funny. 10 things only true stoners will understand.
Yeah.
Tell us about it, Mrs Weedman.
Let's be real. Stoners experience life a little differently. If you've ever spent way too long trying to light the wrong end of a joint, gotten lost in a deep thought about why a pizza is round but comes in a square box, or laughed at nothing for 15 minutes straight, congratulations, you're a stoner. Here are 10 things real weed lovers will truly understand. Let's see how many you can relate to. 1. The instant regret of dropping your weed. No. Every stoner at least once has that moment, that heartbreaking moment when a perfectly packed bowl falls to the floor and you stare at it for a solid 10 seconds, debating whether the 5-second rule applies. True stoner move, you carefully inspect it, maybe pick up the big pieces, and keep smoking like nothing happened. 2, the wait, what was I saying? Moment.
Just like Mrs. Weedman at the beginning of the show.
Yeah. Nothing kills a conversation faster than your own brain forgetting mid-sentence. You start explaining something important and then poof, your thoughts are gone. True stoner move, you laugh it off and you hope your friends do too. 3, forget you're holding a lighter. Bro, where's the lighter? Oh wait, never mind. Losing a lighter when you're high is a universal struggle. The worst part, it's usually in your hand. True stoner move, blame your friends before realizing you've been holding it the whole time. 4, the never-ending quest for snacks. I'm not even that hungry. 10 minutes later, destroys an entire pizza. There's no such thing as a little bit of munchies. The second food crosses your mind, it becomes a mission. You'll stand in the kitchen staring at the fridge like it's a Netflix menu trying to decide
Saturday night.
what looks best. True stoner move, mixing random snacks together just to see if it tastes good. 5, laughing at literally nothing. What's so funny? I have no idea, but I can't stop laughing. At some point in most sessions, you'll find yourself laughing, not because something was actually funny, but because being high is just hilarious. True stoner move, laugh so hard you start crying, and then forget what was even funny in the first place. Yes, I've been there.
You're like all of these right now.
6, the eternal debate. Blunt, joint, or bong? Well, what's the best way to smoke? The ultimate stoner debate, right? Stoners love discussing the pros and cons of different smoking methods, saying that joints are classic and portable, but they take time to roll, and blunts are stronger, but the tobacco can be harsh, and bongs are smooth hits, but then you gotta clean them. True stoner move? Always saying you'll roll a joint, but ending up using a bong because it's easier.
We roll joints.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
we roll joints. I mean,
yeah.
2-3 times a day.
7, rolling a perfect joint feels like winning a gold medal.
That's Mrs. Weedman.
Damn, bro, that's a clean roll. I don't really say that, but that's what the article said.
You say, damn, Mr. Weedman, look at this joint.
Mr. Weedman. Rolling the perfect joint is an art form. When you finally roll one that burns evenly, you will feel like a master of the craft. True stoner move, showing off your perfectly rolled joint like it's an Olympic trophy. That's right. 8, getting high and suddenly becoming a philosopher. Been there too. But like, what if your colors aren't real? What if colors aren't real? What if the world's not real? When you're high, your brain turns into TED Talk. Simple questions become deep philosophical mysteries. Like, if we named oranges after their color, why don't we name bananas yellows? Does a straw have one hole or two? What if all of us are just in a video game and we don't even know it? True stoner move. Your deep thought makes total sense when you're high, but it really sounds ridiculous when you're sober. 9, smoking in public and thinking everyone knows. Wait, oh my God, do they know? Oh my God, they could totally tell I'm high. Well, even in legal states, getting high and walking around in public feels like an undercover mission. Every time someone looks at you, your brain immediately assumes they can smell it. They know. Act normal, which ironically makes you look more suspicious. True stoner move. You overthink it, but actually, no one even cares. 10, saying, I'm not that high, and then realizing you are. Bro, I barely feel it. 10 minutes later, I'm lost in another dimension. Every stoner has had that moment where they thought they weren't high enough until it hits them, right? True stoner move, trying to act normal, but your brain is completely gone. Well, being a stoner comes with some hilarious struggles, but that's what makes weed culture so fun. Whether it's losing your lighter, getting lost in deep thoughts, or eating everything in sight, stoners all share some universal experiences.
I say you're a stoner.
Yeah,
You're on that.
I think you're there too.
I'm a burner. I got a few stoner in me, but I'm more of a burner. But you're
I'm
true.
a stoner.
You're 100%.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
I've surpassed you, Mr.
Oh
Weedman.
yeah, you are. You're all that. Every single one of those had your name written all over it. I got a little stoner in me, but I'm not all of it. I don't get the munchies. Not like you. I can't roll a joint. Well, I can. I use the fucking machine, but I can roll one.
Well, then you're not rolling it.
No,
that's technical.
right. I'm not a stoner, so I'm a burner. Do you remember my definitions of all three, right?
Yeah.
Burner, stoner, and a pothead. Stoner thinks they can comes up with the greatest ideas ever, right? Pothead thinks everything could be solved by smoking weed, and a burner helps a stoner get every idea moved and get it moving forward because ideas are free. Remember? Oh shit, Snoop Dogg, man,
what's he up to now?
Is it 2025 going to be his year too? Expands marijuana empire again with new line of blunts after judging rolling contest in Vegas. Snoop Dogg is expanding his cannabis brand with a new line, blunt wraps named Dogwoods under the Smoke Weed Every Day Swede label. After judging a blunt rolling contest in Las Vegas, he unveiled the wraps designed for a slow, smooth burn. The launch follows the introduction of a direct-to-consumer platform and physical locations for Swede products, including a dispensary in Los Angeles. Snoop continues to promote cannabis culture, advocating for its health benefits and supporting reform in sports. Good for you, Snoop. Good for you. Send us some of those dogwoods instead of backwoods.
Yeah, right.
Mrs. Weedman.
Mr. Weedman.
Man, we had such a good show. That's the end.
did. Yeah.
Strawberry Shortcake for the win, though, Big Earl.
Well, I'm not smoking more of that.
No,
now.
I'm saying for the show, though. That was great for the show.
No, I was considering it for a second.
No, I won't go to bed.
Yeah. That will not allow me to sleep.
We'll be running laps. We'll be chasing the dog around for a couple more hours smoking that. Now we're going to get edible and go to bed and smoke some Slurricane by Igneous.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but Big Earl, that strain might be a keeper.
That's a keeper.
A little bit for doing the show the next couple of weeks. That kept me alert. Not on an indica feeling where I'm just slow motion for me.
I could read well.
Oh yeah, it was great. So highly elevated, a little frisky.
Yeah.
You know, maybe not frisky.
Feisty.
Feisty. Yeah.
Feisty.
Well, I'm always frisky. So, oh shit, everybody, what a great show. We appreciate you out there. Ms. Weedman, you got anything else to say?
Everybody have a great week and find yourself some strawberry shortcake because it's pretty dope.
Everybody out there, world, we love you, man. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for being a part of this. We appreciate y'all out there. As Paulie always says, smoke smart. Puff, puff, and away.
Puff, puff, pass.
Check out our cannabis lifestyle brand online at 8decades.com. Our custom smokes and accessories are perfect for your coffee table, bedroom nightstand, or kitchen counter. They're designed for you to show them off. The Canna community is also loving our hemp and cotton blend t-shirts, sweatshirts, scarves, and hats, finished off with our 8 Decades logo. We've got some awesome long-lasting goods that will be your favorite for years to come. 8 Decades, because a 9th decade of cannabis prohibition isn't acceptable.